So how far in advance do I plan my Halloween displays? We're barely halfway through summer of 2024 and I'm already working on Halloween 2025. Welcome back everybody, I'm Mike from Happy Haunting here for Halloween all year round. And today we're going to be looking at my 2025 Halloween plans, starting with this inflatable. It's a dragon inflatable. Now, to be honest, I did actually want to do dragons this year, and I start planning these things so early that I purchased this inflatable in advance, and by the time I decided I needed to push this out to 2025, it was too late to return it. But as I was looking on Amazon just a moment ago, I found another inflatable that was out of stock when I was looking earlier this year that complemented this one, and I kind of want to buy it now too, so I'll have it for next year. But I guess with this whole year coming up, we have a lot of time to really gather all of the props and inflatables that we want to make that scene really work. One thing that I really wanted to get to go along with my dragon theme were some either medieval warriors or a wizard to go along with the castle inflatable that I have. So we've got some time yet to ponder it. And I kind of ripped the front of this box as I was taking off the label, which is unfortunate because, it doesn't come in its own pretty display box. I guess it kind of does. It's printed on here, but it ripped right off. So let me go ahead and show you the website of what it should look like. Here is the Amazon page. I will put a link to it in the description below, but it's the Seasonblow 9-foot Halloween inflatable dragon Archway. And they did not send this to me. I purchased this on my own, so we're not going to do a thorough review of their website, but I wanted to get an idea of what it looks like for you before we go ahead and head on out. And this is kind of it. So I was actually planning that you would enter my display through a castle where we might see some dragons and again the wizard or the warrior. And then on the way out, you would have to pass through this dragon archway as if it's your final battle and he's about to eat you there. It should be 9 feet tall, 5.5 feet wide entrance, 6-foot arch so it's easy to pass through, 13 feet wide so it's great to cross a driveway. Now it does seem to have some mixed reviews though, which is a little concerning. Let's just take a quick peek at some of them. Hard time holding its head up, so that's not good. Cute but tipsy, a dragon dud. Basically the blower is not powerful enough to inflate the entire dragon, it needs 2 blowers. This person said it had a lot of holes in the head. Does not stay up. Not very sturdy. Little concerned about some of those reviews, but let's go ahead and open this up so we can test it for ourselves and see if that's correct. Alright, here's the inside of the box. The first thing I see is an instruction manual that says happy with your purchase, yes or no, and if no, contact customer support and they'll be happy to help you in any way. So, it sounds like they stand by their products. The instructions are pretty, standard, so let's ignore that for now. Let's go ahead and pull the inflatable out of the box. And we've got the inflatable cube. Feels like there's a couple of weights inside in this bag. We've got some tie downs and a number of small stakes. I'm a little concerned that these are not very substantial for such a tall inflatable, but there are several of them. I usually like to just tie these to nearby trees. And actually what I like to do if I'm doing a walkthrough with an Archway inflatable, usually use like a pop-up tent with some walls surrounding it, so people have to have something to walk through. And this would just be anchored by that pop-up tent. That's a good way to keep things from blowing around. But are we going to need that? Let's go ahead and head on outside and find out. I'm kind of thinking next year I may do a dragon display inside the garage. This might actually work very well as an entrance into the garage haunt. Archways are great right in front of the door. It's easy to secure and you're not going to worry about them blowing away. But let's go ahead and unfurl this. Alright, so there is a lot of material. I like the colors. It's very vibrant. It's a little perhaps too vibrant for Halloween. We do have, what is this? Is this a ghost? I think that might be a ghost. I'm not sure. I don't remember a skull, right? So it's definitely Halloween themed. It's just very kid friendly. Let's go ahead and take this cord, which appears to be pretty lengthy, probably about 10 feet long. Let's go ahead and plug it in and let this thing inflate. There is a zipper on the non-fan side, so you could stick some rocks inside there or some larger weight bags if you wanted. There is another zipper on the other side of the archway, the fan side. It is closed, so it's just slow to inflate. All right, so what do you think? Let's put that down. Some people were complaining the head won't stay up, but even if I try and push it down, it still pops up. There's a little bit of a crease. Let's try that again. So it could go up a little bit higher. The fan could perhaps be a little bit stronger, but you have to give it a little bit of time to really work out those wrinkles, let that air really inflate. But I don't know, I think it's kind of fun. It's a little short for someone my size, but just barely. I am extra tall. One thing that you probably can't see there in the video is that there's a bit of a slant here at the driveway, and he's still not falling over. That's perhaps because the area here is probably about 3 or 4 feet wide, so that gives it quite a bit of stability. Over on this side, you've got a couple of feet of width to really help him stand up. So I like that. Let's see what else we like. Let's bring the camera in and take a closer look. Of course, we're going to have to start with the dragon head. First thing I notice are these horns coming out of his nose. And these sharp teeth. Now these are not inflatable, this is just material. Some of it's kind of bent. We could probably try and fix that, but even as they are bent, it looks like jagged teeth, jagged broken teeth. We have a separate forked tongue. As we make our way up, evil looking eyes and some orange horns. I like the fact that those horns are not the same orange as you have on the wings. There are a lot of colors to this inflatable, which makes it very eye-catching. They do a good job of mixing this inflatable horn with the painted-on horn of this flapping material. As we make our way down to the tail, you can see on its leg, it even has these separate claws. It's quite distinct from the body of the dragon. There's a lot of stability based on the width of that leg. The back has a nice arched tail with extra detail at the end that is inflatable. It's not too full. Maybe that'll work itself out if we leave it inflated for a while, but I'm not sure. As we make our way to the main portion of the archway, we have these orange flares hanging down. Everyone loves walking through this sort of stuff. Then we turn to the side. You can see really how wide this side of the base is, keeping it standing tall and not falling over. As we make our way around, we have some hands with claws. 2 very distinctive hands, very large, like those grabbing on to the skull, a victim, perhaps, of a fierce dragon battle. There are some tie points on the sides. Looks like there's one at the middle of the archway. As we make our way to the back, you can see it's kind of starting to lean over because I've been messing with it. There's no real design on the back side, so it is a one-sided inflatable. But there you go. Archway Dragon Inflatable. I really like that this isn't just one big blob of an inflatable with a painted on design. I like how all of these little separate elements are distinct from each other, giving it a very three-dimensional look. Only other thing that we still need to look at would be the lighting effects. So it's not really effects, I think it's just some lights throughout, but it's too bright for us to look at it right now. Let's wait for the sun to go down just a little bit and we'll take another look. Here at night, we can see there are a number of white lights that go throughout the dragon's body and the head, and I'm a little surprised to see it does in fact have a lighting effect in the skull. It blinks and changes colors, giving it a nice interest to the inflatable. Now you are going to need a little bit of exterior illumination if you really want to see the full dragon body, because you're not having any lighting in the wings themselves, and some of the legs and the bottom of the tail. I really am excited by this inflatable. Could you imagine walking through this archway to a haunted forest full of inflatable dragons and wizards and warriors and castles? I think it would be such a fun display, and I can't wait to bring that to you in 2025. But maybe we'll find some sort of way to incorporate them in this year's display. I'm not sure. You're going to have to stay tuned if you want to find out for sure. Before we go, I did want to say a special thank you to all the patrons who help support the channel. If you're interested in joining our Fright Club, be sure to check out a link to my Patreon page in the description below. That's going to do it for today. Thanks for watching, everyone. Until next time, take care and happy haunting. Should I do it again?
Probably.
I'm looking at the thing again. I don't like the way that sounds. All right, one more time. Oh my God, I'm looking at the thing again. Yeah, let me start over.